What's up, guys? It's Mighty, and we're back with another vlog. Today I kind of wanted to talk about something a little more serious. Not like negative or anything, but not just video games. It relates to video games, because I mean that's what this gaming channel thing that I'm doing is about. But I want to talk about positivity and how it can kind of affect your outlook on things that happen, both good and bad things. So, I don't know, I don't want to spend like an hour talking about this. So, basically, for those of you that don't like know me personally, I have a tendency to not be like the most positive person. Like, no, I'm not typically a glass half full kind of person. And that's not to say that like I always look at the negative side of things. I'm pretty black and white is really what it comes down to. I love something or I hate it. There's not a ton of give or take in between. Like if you look at my Netflix queue of like movies that I've watched on there that I've rated, it's like a bunch of 5 stars and a bunch of 1 stars. There's not a ton of stuff in between that I'm like, yeah, sure. I mean, it's either like amazing or screw that thing, I can't stand it. So when like new stuff is revealed and released, I tend to do one or the other. And I consider myself to be like a realist, as opposed to being like an optimist necessarily. I tend to look at things about like numbers and statistics and what's going on behind the scenes to lead to whomever making a decision. So video games, for example. So they'll release a new trailer for a game. Okay, great example. Recently, Gearbox, the guys that made Borderlands, they revealed a trailer for their new game, Battleborn, I think. They put up the trailer, and without looking at, like, knowing what the general feedback from the community was, like, I checked it out just to see. And my immediate reaction was like, nope. Like, looking up anything about it, I should say what my normal reaction would have been was, no, don't care. Not that like I only want them to ever make Borderlands for the rest of their lives, but this doesn't look cool. Like the trailer, it's just CG, there's no gameplay, it's like 2 minutes, some overdramatic song, a lot of slow-mo, like it looks lame. It's not this serious dramatic thing because all the characters' models are really cartoony looking. And then I read up a little bit on the game and it's like a MOBA, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Not only do I not care about MOBAs, but the only MOBAs people play are Dota 2 and League of Legends. All these new games that come out are trying to be MOBAs and revitalize and get some of that MOBA money, and none of them succeed. They all fail because people play Dota and they play League, and that's it. No one is asking for any new MOBAs. They just aren't. So that they was going to have MOBA aspects. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like the studio that's really great, that could make these really cool games, is just making another MOBA. Like, what a waste of their time. I'm not going to buy it, so it's a waste of my time too. How many years they're going to make it, how many years they're going to support the game after the fact. I'm sure there's going to be a sequel. Like, that's like 5 years, 6 years of them making a game that I don't want to play. So that's how typical Shay would look at that kind of thing. And obviously I did still look at it a little like that because I have that experience, but trying to look at it like, okay, but then what they did with Borderlands 2, they took this loot, like Diablo feel and first-person shooter, and mashed them. And it was this thing that no one knew they wanted, but was really cool. Like these RPG elements in the huge open world and quest structure. Like it was so many genres in one, and really was this really unique open world RPG loot game before there were any open world RPG loot games. And now there are a bunch, but they were the first ones to do it and do it really well. So what's to say that they can't do it with Battleborn? Like, it's a generic name. Sure, you can't not admit that, but yeah, I don't want to play MOBAs. I've played a little bit of Guardians of Middle-earth, the Lord of the Rings MOBA, and I didn't really care for it, but I guess that's also, I have no idea, but I've heard from other people that it's not that great, even from people that do like MOBAs, so maybe it's more the game and less me. But I could care less about MOBAs. I'm not going to get into Dota, I'm not going to get into League, because I don't have the time or the energy or the want to get into those. But them taking this game, if they're able to mesh those MOBA things, ideas and whatever makes a MOBA with the creeps and co-op and whatever that kind of stuff is, and mesh that with RPG stuff and story. It could be another example of, I didn't even know that I wanted this. I didn't even know that this was something that I would like, and then I do. So I'm trying to be optimistic about it. I didn't want them to just come out and be like, Borderlands 3, because that's kind of the most expected thing anyway. So I don't know. That's the most gamer recent example that I can give of this whole more positive outlook on things. So a little backstory on that. Because don't typically tend to be a very positive person when I see new things, I kind of tend to look at the flaws in those things. It's not something I'm proud of. That's just kind of how my brain works. So I made this challenge for myself because I've seen lots of people on Facebook and whatnot making these 100 happy days or 100 healthy days of the 100 healthy days is, take a picture of whatever healthy food you're eating and that kind of stuff. And the narcissistic Shay looked at that stuff and was like, one, they're doing it to try to get attention and get a free like, oh, look, you're being so healthy. And two, to say, look how great I am. My hair is annoying me. Let's do it like that. Whatever. I don't care. I need a haircut. But trying to be more positive about it, it's people that are trying to improve their eating habits or their lifestyle or their outlook on life. And that's admirable. That's something worth doing. For me especially, that's something worth doing. So I made a challenge to myself that for 30 days in a row on Facebook, I was going to post something good that I experienced or that happened to me or that I was doing or some positive choice that I made instead of bitching about something. Like something political comes up and this is annoying or whatever, or some news story or anything like that, or anything that happens bad to me during my day, and not spending any time focusing on those and spreading that. Because Facebook is this huge community of things that if you put up something bad that happened or this negative opinion on something, depending on how many friends you have, potentially hundreds of people that you know are going to see that, and that's going to affect their day. That's going to affect their mood and possibly ruin their mood. It happens to me all the time where I'll be having a perfectly fine day and someone will post something political or whatever on Facebook that I don't agree with, that seems to me to be ignorant and unfounded and all that kind of stuff, and it pisses me off and makes me angry and totally ruins my good mood because I'm this person didn't do their research. Let me take the time to go link this article and prove how they're wrong and how they need to do more research before they spread this stuff and blah blah blah, going down this rabbit hole. But that kind of thing negatively affects your Facebook friends. So instead, to try to take an attitude of, I'm going to try to share things to improve the days of my Facebook friends. If it's sharing just a funny, cute video or some inspirational story or something good that happened to you that could happen to other people or whatever. Not self-congratulatory, I have a lot of actor friends, and it's not being I got cast in this huge thing. Because that, cool, good for you. That's fine if you want to share that, but that's not, improving my day. You know what I mean? But if you share something to say, here's this story of, a story of some old guy who, his wife died several years ago, and so he only has their dog left, and he takes the dog around everywhere, and the dog's, in a wheelchair because it can't talk, and blah, 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 and all this stuff. It's an inspirational story. It's a cute thing that this guy has to share love or whatever. I don't know, I'm making that up off the top of my head, but hopefully you understand what I'm trying to say with that. So that's what I've been trying to do, is just trying to focus more on the positive things that happen in my life instead of harping on the negative things that happen. And it's been 11 days, I think, since I've started that. I started at the beginning of the month, I guess 12 days, 13 days. And it's already had a huge impact in just my outlook on things. Crappy stuff still happens to me regularly. I'll get an annoying customer at work or, be stuck in traffic or, yesterday I recorded Mass Effect 3 for 4 hours, 4 or 5 videos I was going to put up the next couple of weeks because I know a lot of you guys really like the Mass Effect stuff that I was doing before my PS3 broke, and something got screwed up in my recordings and all the videos are just black screen. No audio, nothing. So they're all unusable. And I spent 5 hours that day recording and playing it. And immediately afterwards, I fell into that trap of being I just wasted most of my Saturday. One of my, Saturdays and Sundays are my only days that, I get a full day to myself to do stuff that I want to do. And even on Sundays, I teach lessons and we run errands. And so really, Saturday is, my day of the week to play video games for more than 30 minutes and to, watch a movie or do whatever. So that happened. I was like, I just wasted half of my Saturday. I'm never going to get that time back. I can't use any of those videos. It's this old game that I'm only playing. I'm like, yeah, I'm playing because it's fun, but I'm more so playing it to put on YouTube to share kind of like my expertise and my skill in the game and because it's entertainment. If it were up to me, I would have played something else. I would have played a different game or something new or whatever. And that was my immediate reaction. And I was like, you know what? Like, I'm doing YouTube for fun, first off. Like, since I started YouTube, it's been almost a year, like towards the beginning of August, it will be my 1 year YouTube anniversary. In that, I've made like $20. And most of that's from like 10 videos. Almost all that money is from, and I've had almost 300 videos on my channel now, I think. So, at the end of the day, like, yeah, I wasted that time and I don't get those videos, but who cares? There are plenty of games to play, there's plenty of stuff for me to share, and if I don't put up a video every day, so what? I'm not trying to get rich from YouTube or do anything like that. I'm doing it for fun, to be creative, to have an excuse to play games and share and talk to random people on the internet like I'm doing right now. So, trying to be more positive about it, be like, so what? I'm not going to let this little thing ruin my day. So then, at the end of the night, I pour myself a glass of Jameson, had some ice cream. I'm lactose intolerant. I'm not supposed to eat ice cream, but didn't have anything to do today except my lessons, so I was okay having a stomach ache this morning so that I was able to eat ice cream. And I watched Star Wars Episode 4. Like, I just had a fun night. Turn the lights off, just hang out, drink a little bit. I had a couple beers afterwards. Like, yeah, I wasted half of my day doing this Mass Effect stuff and it didn't turn out. And my big day to record on YouTube on Saturday, like, I didn't get to record anything new that day. But so what? I'm not going to let that bring me down and ruin my day or my entire weekend. The old Shay would still be hard. Like, I would be making a video right now bitching about how I didn't get to record Mass Effect 3 for 5 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever. Instead of now, for 12 minutes, I've been talking about trying to be more positive about that. So, this isn't me. Like, I'm not getting on a soapbox, and I'm not being self-congratulatory, and I'm not like, you should do this because I'm doing it or anything like that. But I think it is worth talking about because plenty of people out there are much more positive than me. They have much better outlooks on life, and they're happier for it. I've already been so much happier for this in the week and a half that I've done it. The other night, like when I was at work, I'm very OCD. I like to plan out my days. And when I was there, I was like, Kelly's not home. She's going to be at work tonight. I'm going to go home, record something, play some video games, put on sweatpants, and just veg out, eat junk food, and be a bad human being. And then, we'll watch an episode of Archer or something when she gets home. But as I was getting ready to leave work, I was like, she's been doing so much for me, being more of like housewife stereotype, cleaning up and doing dishes and trying to cook for me and stuff like that, when she works almost as much as I do, and I'm working like 2 jobs with my full-time 50-hour-a-week pharmacy job, plus I'm doing the TV show thing, like 10 to 15 hours a week. I'm never home. She works over 40 hours a week. She has a huge commute. She does all this other stuff and spends time with her family and all this kind of stuff. So why, I should be able to sacrifice something too. Not even sacrifice, but I should spend time thinking of her, doing something for her. So I was like, I just want to make her a nice dinner, just for the heck of it. It's not like a special occasion or anything, but I want to make her a nice dinner. So I went to Publix, grocery store, got some nice stuff, and grilled up some chicken and zucchini and did like a pasta thing, made some marinara sauce and, like all that kind of stuff, and spent like an hour and a half cooking a nice dinner and green beans and all that kind of stuff, and it was friggin' delicious, if I do say so myself. But, not only was it just a nice thing to do to show her that I appreciate everything that she's done, but it made me feel really good. Not in a self-congratulatory way that, like, I did something nice for her. Look how good of a person I am. What a good husband I am. Not that attitude, but just, like, it feels good to share things with other people. I like to cook. I don't follow recipes. I just make shit. Usually turns out pretty well, but I like to do that, and I haven't cooked in a while, so it was fun for me to be able to do that and use the skills I had from when I used to be a kitchen manager and dicing stuff up and all that kind of stuff, and I like doing that. So it was an excuse for me to do that. I got to show her, some of my appreciation for her, that she's been stepping up the last couple of weeks, and we got to spend a little time together. We were eating, we watched TV show together. I was trying to think, we were watching The Killing or something, but it was just nice, and it normally, she would have come home, been exhausted, gotten ready for bed, and we would have gone, I would have watched, an episode of Archer with her in bed. She would have gone to sleep, and I would have come out and done video games or whatever. But instead, I cooked dinner for her. We sat I mean, we don't use this table behind us because it's, I don't know, it's just not good for a table like that. Like, we sat in the living room, watched a couple episodes of Killing, talked for a bit, and ate our dinner. It was just a nice evening that wouldn't have happened if I hadn't cooked something for her, because she would have stopped for, like, fast food or whatever on the way home. So, I don't know. I made this much longer-winded than I intended to, because that's how I am. But basically what I'm trying to say, like, the more positive outlook you can have, the more you can focus on the good things that happen in life as opposed to the negative things. Not only is it going to improve your life and your outlook, but it's going to spread to other people. People that you love, and also just casual friends like on Facebook. Seeing something fun that you did during the day will brighten their day, make them smile, make them laugh, or whatever. So, if you're seeing this, hopefully this brightens your day and makes you think and does whatever. I want to thank you guys for watching, for supporting, closing in on 100 subscribers, which is really amazing. I'm anticipating I'll be hitting my 1-year anniversary and 100 subscribers at around the same time, which is pretty cool. I've been growing a lot the last couple of weeks since the E3 stuff, so super appreciative of that. Hopefully you guys are still enjoying these vlogs and the more serious talks that I kind of have. Yeah. We're going to have a new series this week on the channel. It's not going to be Mass Effect, unfortunately, because I'm kind of putting that away for a bit because it was a little frustrating. But I'm going to figure out something to record maybe today, maybe this week, to put up this week. So hopefully you guys will enjoy that. Thanks for watching and for supporting, and have a great day. I'll see you in the next video.